Hello, everyone. This is my first time speaking in this room, so this will be fun, right? It's new every time. So I am I went to Afghanistan about 10 years after Representative von Ellinger got there. I'm a little bit younger, maybe a little bit, we know. Anyways, I grew up as a missionary kid in Eastern Europe. So I can attest to everything that Tanya said in her earlier speech. And when we came back to the States, I was just in my formative years. 9/11 happened, and once I graduated from high school, I thought, well, we're still in all these wars. I bet if I join, we can end them. So I joined. The only person that we hadn't captured or killed that had anything to do with 9/11 at the time was Osama bin Laden. I joined the Marine Corps, and I'm telling you, I will never regret that decision. I proudly served my country. I love my country. But there is a verse in the Marine Corps hymn that says, "First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean." There are bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. who have made that impossible. I did my first tour with 3rd Battalion, 8th Marine Regiment. I love that unit. "Fortune favors the bold" was the motto. And here we are. Well, my first deployment was in Helmand Province, Afghanistan, and we conducted kinetic operations, highly kinetic operations. I was a fresh 20-year-old Lance Corporal. I didn't know anything except for what I was told to do, and I knew how to pull a trigger. Well, after being there for 5.5 months, I came back. We had accomplished our mission. We had fought the enemy. Anyone who shot at us was the enemy. We had disrupted their supply lines. We'd stepped on a lot of IEDs. I came back. I had lost one of my mentors who had been shot through the neck and left his 8.5-month pregnant wife behind. Thankfully, I married a wonderful woman who sustained me, along with God. "11 months later, I went back again, this time a corporal. My eyes were open. I was an operations watch chief for a 4,000 square mile battle space. In 2011, that first deployment, it had been the surge under President Obama. 2012 was the drawdown. And boy, was it a drawdown. We replaced 4 units of the same size with 1, but we did not reduce our space. This is along the Pakistan border, not friendly territory. A medevac, if you were to get injured, would take approximately 30 to 45 minutes to get to you. I lost 3 Marines on that deployment. And my eyes were opened again because they weren't killed by the Taliban. They were killed by a sex slave of one of the police chiefs that we were propping up in the region. The machine is real. And eventually it just goes. And it's easier to hand it off to somewhere else. Well, I came back from that deployment, and we said, mission accomplished. We fought the enemy. Well, I forgot to mention, Osama bin Laden was killed in between my 2 deployments, and it never ended. We spent $2 trillion. $2 trillion. We've lost coming up on 2,300 U.S. service members in that country in the last 20 years. When we got there, the Taliban had outlawed opium growth. They produced roughly 10% of the world's opium. Now they produce over 90. Again, eyes open. I love this country. But we're a federalist system for a reason. Because when the top centralizes, they do what they want. Smedley Butler. War is a racket. And he won a lot of awards for fighting in those wars, but he knew. Eisenhower told us, beware the industrial machine. Well, it's going to come home to roost if we don't take care of it. And so this session, I proposed legislation called Defend the Guard that would force Congress to reclaim their war powers from the executive where those powers have become centralized. And it was killed in a voice vote in a committee room in this building. No bill, no hearing, no nothing. And just so you know, I am the most recently deployed legislator in this building. I've seen it most recently. And I can tell you that the pipe dreams that were told to us that Afghanistan was going to turn into a Dubai is a lie. It's a lie. They dig holes for their irrigation from the river. They go to the bathroom in their fields because they don't have any toilets. That is the majority of that region. We didn't bomb them into the Stone Age. They were already there. I encourage you to call your representatives, call your senators. This issue is only going to get worse. The longer we wait, the harder it is to turn the tide. I love this country too much to sit down and watch it get flushed away in some other country. I'm a proud service member. I would stand up for my country any day. I believe in just war. Just war. These are no longer just wars. Don't get me wrong, 2001, we had a bone to pick and we picked it. But by the time 2010, 2011 rolled around, the common discussion was, you think this is ever going to end, or are we just going to be here forever? Well, it's 2020, 2021 now. It's been 20 years. And I can tell you that the American people are done with it. The veteran community is done with it. The only people who haven't realized that are the bureaucrats at the Pentagon. Again, all is not lost. I know I come off as a little intense. I apologize. Can't help myself. I know you guys, I'm probably over my time anyways.
Love it.
Thank you so much for coming. Stay motivated, get engaged. Let's fix this country. From Idaho.